All right, adventurers, welcome to the Dangers and Dragons podcast. We're back with, you guessed it, another weekly show for you.
And today we've got a really cool story lined up, a story with a quest, family secrets, and adventure, but not necessarily the kind you might expect.
It's definitely got some unexpected twists and turns, and we can't wait to dive in and explore it with you.
Exactly. So buckle up and get ready for some masterful storytelling that'll keep you hooked.
Speaking of stories, today we're going to be untangling a tale called Ancestral Blood.
At the heart of this story, there's this seemingly precious family heirloom, a chipped ruby amulet hanging on a worn chain. But there's more to it than meets the eye.
Way more, right.
Yeah, this amulet carries a weight, a history that's much more complex than you'd think just by looking at it.
So our adventure today is to figure out what this family gift, as it's called, really is.
And we're going to journey alongside the protagonist as they uncover the secrets it holds. We have the original text right here, so let's jump right in.
Sounds good to me. Now, the story starts with the protagonist getting this amulet from their gran. How's it presented? What's the context?
Well, Grin presents it as something really important,
Yeah.
She calls it the family gift. It's not just some random trinket. It's loaded with, generations of expectation and tradition.
That was a big deal.
Oh, yeah, a huge deal. And Gran implies that it has this, hidden potential, telling the protagonist that it will awaken power in your blood.
Power in their blood, huh? That sounds intense. But you know what's interesting? The protagonist doesn't exactly react with awe and wonder.
Right. They're actually pretty skeptical, which I kind of love.
Yeah, me too. Instead of being all excited about this family gift, their first thought is to sell it, along with some other old family stuff. They're thinking practically, how much can I get for this?
It's so relatable. I mean, we've all got that one drawer full of old family things that we're not sure what to do with. It grounds the story in this, very normal reality before things get, supernatural.
Exactly. And then things take a turn. The first night after getting the amulet, instead of dreaming about eBay bids, the protagonist has this vivid dream filled with warmth.
And they wake up and they had this ember-like glow in their eyes.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, and they check in the mirror to be sure, and yep, there it is. Their eyes are glowing. Talk about a sign that something big is happening.
Okay, so it's not just a pretty necklace. We're dealing with some real magic here. And, the amulet doesn't just stop at glowing eyes.
Oh, no, it gets way more interesting. We start to see these, mini displays of power, almost as if the protagonist is accidentally activating the amulet's magic.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, picture this. They're about to make tea, go to boil the kettle, and with just a flick of the wrist, boom, boiling water. It's like having a superpower, right?
That's so cool. Makes you wish you had a magic amulet for everyday chores.
I know, right? But it gets even more heartwarming. There's this scene with their old dog who's all stiff and slow, and suddenly, bam, the dog's like a puppy again, full of energy, running around, playing fetch.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know, right? It really tugs at your heartstrings. The story describes it as a thrumming joy beneath the mundane. And, these early moments with the amulet really make it seem like this amazing, beneficial gift.
Yeah, totally. But I feel like there's got to be a catch, right? There's no such thing as a free lunch, especially when it comes to magic.
You're absolutely right. And that's where the story takes an interesting turn. Gran starts sharing all these stories about their ancestors, and guess what? They all had special abilities tied to the amulet, like healing powers, controlling the wind, all this incredible stuff.
Wow, so it's like a whole family legacy of magical abilities. Makes it seem even more amazing, right?
It does, but here's the thing. The protagonist starts to feel uneasy.
Uneasy. Why? This sounds pretty amazing so far.
Because Gran is only telling them about the good stuff, the amazing powers, the incredible feats. She leaves out any mention of limitations, any downsides. And, after what happened with the dog.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of scary. The dog had that burst of energy and then just went downhill.
Exactly. It's like a big warning sign flashing, suggesting that these abilities come with a hidden price.
And that's when the protagonist starts digging deeper, right? But not by reading old family journals or anything like that.
Nope. They start listening to the whispers the amulet hummed late at night.
Whoa, that's creepy. But also kind of cool.
Right. It's as if the amulet itself holds the memories and experiences of everyone who's worn it. And by listening to those whispers, the protagonist starts to uncover the truth.
And what's the truth? Spill the tea.
Well, it turns out that the amulet doesn't just give power, it takes it. It drains the life force of its users in exchange for those amazing abilities. It's like a leech disguised as a gift.
Oh, wow. That is messed up.
Yeah, it's a pretty dark twist. And it gets even more complicated when we learn about Gran's role in all of this. She's not just a sweet old lady passing down a family heirloom. She's like a warden, making sure this messed up cycle continues.
Hold on, so Gran knows about the amulet's true nature.
It seems so. And she's still passing it down, generation after generation. It makes you rethink everything about her character and motivations.
Absolutely. It makes their confrontation in the attic even more intense. Gran pleads with the protagonist, talking about family duty and untapped potential, but it all rings hollow now.
And the amulet itself is described as hot in the protagonist's hand, like it's pulsing with all the stolen life force it contains. It's no longer a treasure, it's a burden, a symbol of the family's dark secret.
That's heavy stuff.
Yeah, it is. And that's when the protagonist makes a choice. They decide to break the cycle, they smash the amulet.
Whoa, good for them. Did it explode? Was there like a burst of magic?
Actually, no, it's described as kind of anticlimactic. The ruby cracks, its glow fades, and that's it. No big magical fireworks.
Huh. That's interesting. I guess sometimes the most important changes are quiet ones.
Exactly. And even though the amulet is destroyed, its legacy doesn't disappear overnight. At Gran's funeral, everyone's confused why the protagonist won't wear the broken pieces. They think it's grief, but it's actually about breaking free from a harmful tradition.
It must be so isolating, knowing the truth but not being able to share it.
It is, but the story ends on a hopeful note. The protagonist feels this fierce kind of joy, realizing that they're the end of that cursed line. They get to start fresh, unburdened.
Yeah, there's a sense of freedom in that final image of them walking away from the cemetery, feeling the world around them in a new way without that relentless hum of the amulet. They broke free.
And that's a powerful reminder that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is say no to a legacy, even if it's presented as a gift.
So, for everyone listening, what can we take away from this? I think it's a reminder to look closely at the gifts in our own lives. Are there any strings attached? What's the real cost? It could be an actual object, a family tradition, or even a belief system. It makes you think, right?
It really does. The protagonist's journey is all about recognizing those hidden costs and having the courage to break free, even when it's hard, even when it means standing alone.
Absolutely. So, as you go about your week, maybe take a moment to think about the legacies you've inherited.
The good and the bad, the visible and the invisible. Which ones will you choose to carry forward, and which ones will you have the strength to leave behind?
That's something for all of us to think about. Thank you for joining us for this exploration of ancestral blood. We hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to rate and follow the Dangers and Dragons podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Your support helps us keep bringing you these amazing stories. Until next time, may your own adventures be full of exciting discoveries.
And remember, sometimes the greatest adventure is finding the courage to create your own path.